Welcome to my channel, The Good Book Tales. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most chilling and profound books in the Bible, the book of Isaiah. Now, when you hear the name Isaiah, you might think of beautiful prophecies, visions of hope, and promises of salvation. But behind those verses lies a side of Isaiah that's often overlooked, a side that is terrifying, unsettling, and haunting. Have you ever wondered why scholars, theologians, and even everyday readers have described this book as the most fearsome in the Bible? Today, we're going to uncover that shocking truth. Imagine walking through a world on the brink of destruction, where every decision, every action, every sin is seen with unflinching clarity. Isaiah's words don't just tell stories. They reveal the raw, unfiltered justice of God, the weight of accountability, and the terrifying consequences of turning away from righteousness. This isn't just another story in the Bible. This is a book that forces you to look at yourself, your world, and the fragile line between mercy and judgment. The book of Isaiah introduces us to a prophet unlike any other. Isaiah himself is a messenger, a seer, and at times, a witness to visions so intense and overwhelming that they challenge human comprehension. Picture him standing in the temple, overwhelmed by divine glory, aware of the sin and corruption surrounding him, yet tasked with delivering a message so severe that it could shake a nation to its core. His words aren't sugar-coated, they're direct, unrelenting, and often terrifying. And what he saw wasn't just symbolic, it was a warning of what could, and would, happen if humanity didn't heed God's call. In today's exploration, we'll see how Isaiah's prophecies go beyond ordinary warnings. They pierce the heart of the nation of Israel, foretelling judgment and destruction in ways that are vivid and unflinching. We'll uncover shocking visions of upheaval, divine wrath, and a world teetering on the edge of chaos. And yet, amidst the terror, there are glimpses of hope and redemption, creating a tension so powerful that it keeps readers on edge, turning each page with both dread and anticipation. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the book of Isaiah isn't just a story from the past. It's a mirror reflecting the consequences of human choices, the inevitability of justice, and the shocking power of divine revelation. But here's the part that will shock you most. There's a revelation hidden within Isaiah's chapters that even seasoned Bible readers often miss. A revelation so profound that it challenges everything you thought you knew about fear, faith, and the human spirit. So, are you ready to walk into the terrifying world of Isaiah? Are you prepared to see the visions that have left generations trembling? To hear words that confront the deepest fears of the human heart? Stay with me, because what comes next will change the way you see the Bible forever. But be warned, once you step into Isaiah's world, there's no turning back. The truth is coming, and it's more shocking than you could imagine. To understand why the book of Isaiah strikes such fear into the hearts of readers, we first need to step back and look at the world in which Isaiah lived. This wasn't a time of comfort or peace. The kingdom of Judah was fragile, surrounded by powerful empires with armies ready to crush any sign of weakness. Corruption ran deep, leaders were often blind to justice, and ordinary people struggled to survive under constant threat. Isaiah wasn't writing a story for entertainment. He was documenting a world on the edge of collapse, a world that teetered between hope and utter destruction. Isaiah himself emerges as a figure both human and extraordinary. He is a man called to speak truths that are nearly unbearable. A prophet standing in the courts of kings, witnessing the decay of his nation. Can you imagine the weight of that responsibility? To see the failings of your people so clearly, yet be tasked with warning them of consequences they might not want to face. Isaiah's words are more than prophecy. They are a confrontation. Every verse challenges pride, exposes sin, and lays bare the consequences of ignoring divine guidance. But there's something else that makes Isaiah terrifying, something that sets it apart from other biblical texts. Unlike simple warnings, the visions he shares are vivid, almost cinematic in their intensity. He describes upheaval that shakes nations, natural disasters that seem to mirror human corruption, and divine judgments so absolute they leave no room for denial. The imagery is striking, haunting, and unforgettable. And just when you think you've grasped the meaning, Isaiah's words twist again, revealing layers of warning and insight that most readers overlook on the first pass. And yet, Within this darkness, there is a strange thread of hope, though it is never easy to reach. Isaiah's prophecies don't just warn. They point to the possibility of redemption, if only the people will turn. But here's the haunting truth. The line between redemption and ruin is razor thin. The very same words that promise hope can also foreshadow total collapse. And this tension, this edge between fear and hope, is what makes the book of Isaiah unlike anything else in Scripture. As we move forward, you'll see that Isaiah's terrifying messages aren't just about distant nations or ancient events. They speak to something universal, something deeply human. The fear, the awe, the confrontation with ultimate justice. It resonates in ways that still shock readers today. But the most startling revelations, the moments that make Isaiah truly unforgettable, are still ahead. And what they reveal about humanity, faith, and the world we live in might just leave you speechless. As Isaiah continues to deliver his messages, the tension in Judah only grows. On one side, there are the kings and leaders, proud and often blind to the truth, convinced that their power will protect them from any danger. They cling to false security, turning a deaf ear to warnings of divine judgment. On the other side, the people themselves are torn, some desperate for guidance, some too afraid to face the reality Isaiah lays before them. This is where the heart of the conflict begins, a nation trapped between denial and reckoning, between survival and the consequences of their own choices. Isaiah doesn't shy away from showing the cost of ignorance. In some passages, he describes enemies closing in, cities falling, and leaders being overthrown, but he also delves into the smaller, personal stories of fear, doubt, and betrayal. Families struggling under oppression, prophets questioning their own strength, and ordinary people caught in events far beyond their control. All of these layers create a human drama within the grand sweep of divine judgment. The more Isaiah speaks, the more the cracks in society appear, each verse adding pressure, suspense, and urgency to a world teetering on collapse. And then there's the mysterious side of Isaiah's visions, the moments that are almost impossible to fully understand. He speaks of strange creatures, awe-inspiring thrones, and visions of heaven and earth colliding in ways that hint at forces far greater than anything human. Some see these images as literal, others symbolic, but one thing is clear. They are meant to disturb, to challenge, and to force anyone reading them to confront fear in its rawest form. From the perspective of the people of Judah, Isaiah becomes both a messenger of hope and a harbinger of terror. Every prophecy, every warning, every vision deepens the conflict between faith and doubt, obedience and rebellion, survival and destruction. And just when it feels like the tension might ease, another shocking revelation lurks in the chapters ahead, waiting to upend everything the people, and even we as readers, think we understand that as Isaiah's warnings grow louder. The air in Judah feels heavier, almost suffocating. The people whisper among themselves, some in fear, some in disbelief, while the kings and officials continue to pretend the danger isn't real. But Isaiah's visions keep coming, each one more intense than the last. He describes skies darkened with smoke, lands scorched by judgment, and voices crying out in despair. The tension isn't just political, it's deeply personal. Every family, every individual, feels the weight of consequences they can't escape. And Isaiah, standing at the center of it all, becomes both a guide and a mirror, reflecting the truths people desperately try to ignore. There's a growing sense of inevitability, as if the world itself is holding its breath. Isaiah's prophecies don't just outline what will happen. They feel alive, urgent, and unrelenting. The nation's sins, corruption, and arrogance are laid bare in vivid detail, and the threat of divine justice feels almost tangible. You can almost hear the footsteps of approaching armies, the crackle of fires, and the distant cries of a people on the edge of collapse. It's a world where fear and hope collide, leaving everyone unsettled and desperate for answers. And then, the visions take a deeper, more mysterious turn. Strange images flash before Isaiah's eyes, thrones surrounded by angels, strange creatures moving through fire, and a voice that shakes the very ground beneath him. These are moments that make even the strongest hearts tremble. The suspense builds because we sense that something even greater is coming, something that will challenge everything Judah has known and everything Isaiah has prepared them for. Every word now carries weight, every warning cuts deeper, and the anticipation grows unbearable. The people, the leaders, even Isaiah himself seem to sense that the climax is near, though no one knows exactly what form it will take. And just when the tension reaches its peak, the next revelation promises to change everything. Just when the tension in Judah seems almost unbearable, a new layer of mystery and fear begins to unfold. Isaiah's visions grow darker, more intense, and almost impossible to ignore. He starts to speak of forces at work that no one had anticipated, not just armies or kings, but deeper, unseen powers that shape the fate of nations. It's as if the very air around the people has turned against them, charged with a presence they cannot see but can feel. Whispers of doom spread faster than the wind, and the people begin to question everything they thought they knew about security, power, and even faith itself. And then, the unexpected happens. A second, startling revelation emerges from Isaiah's prophecies, a warning that shakes the leaders and confounds the people. It is no longer just about external threats or moral failure. It is about the choices of the people themselves, and how their own doubts, greed, and pride could bring disaster even faster than any enemy army. Suddenly, Judah is not just a nation at risk. It is a reflection of the chaos and fear that lives inside every human heart. The weight of accountability becomes almost unbearable, and the suspense grows because there is no clear way to escape it. This new revelation forces a confrontation between those who still cling to hope and those who have given in to despair. Families argue over what is true, leaders scramble to maintain control, and ordinary people are caught in the storm of uncertainty. Isaiah becomes both a witness and a guide, trying to illuminate a path forward, but even he cannot fully predict how the events will unfold. Every prophecy now carries double meaning, and every warning feels sharper, more urgent. What makes this twist even more terrifying is the realization that the stakes are higher than anyone imagined. The future of Judah, the survival of its people, and the very balance between mercy and justice hang by a thread. And while some moments hint at salvation, every glimpse of hope seems to exist side by side with looming disaster. The suspense is suffocating because the audience knows that what comes next could either save a nation or utterly destroy it. As the people brace for what's coming, the tension tightens like a drawn bowstring. Every decision matters, every word counts, and every action, or inaction, could tip the balance. And just when you think the danger couldn't grow any greater, another revelation lurks ahead, ready to push Isaiah and the people of Judah closer to a breaking point that none of them are prepared for. The moment of reckoning finally arrives. Isaiah stands before the people of Judah, his voice ringing with a mix of urgency and calm authority. The visions he has carried, the dark skies, the collapsing cities, the strange creatures, the voices of judgment, are no longer distant warnings. They are here. The leaders can no longer hide behind their false security, and the people can no longer deny the consequences of their choices. Every sin, every act of corruption, every ignored warning has led to this pivotal moment. The tension that has been building for so long explodes, and the entire nation feels the weight of divine justice pressing down on them. As Isaiah speaks, a transformation begins. Some hearts soften, and even the proudest leaders begin to listen, humbled by the overwhelming truth of what is happening. Families come together, people seek forgiveness, and the community starts to grasp the fragile thread that connects fear, choice, and hope. The nations surrounding Judah, once thought invincible, falter under the weight of the same moral and spiritual forces Isaiah has warned about. It seems, for a moment, that salvation is within reach. The suspense reaches its peak as viewers watch the line between catastrophe and redemption hang by a thread. But just when it feels like the storm is passing, Isaiah delivers a final, unexpected revelation. The true danger is not only external enemies or the immediate collapse of Judah. It is the recurring cycle of human doubt and failure itself. Even after the nation has faced judgment and begun to change, The prophecy hints that the struggle will continue in ways no one can fully control. The twist leaves a chilling impression. History may repeat itself, and the choices of each generation carry consequences far beyond what anyone can see. In that instant, the story's climax achieves both resolution and lingering tension. Judah survives, lessons are learned, and the people glimpse hope, but the warning remains vivid, echoing through every verse. Vigilance, faith, and moral courage are never optional. They are the only things that stand between order and chaos. Isaiah's terrifying and awe-inspiring visions have shown the price of ignoring truth, and the final twist reminds viewers that even in resolution, uncertainty and challenge persist. The audience is left breathless, their minds racing, fully aware that the revelations of Isaiah are not just ancient history. They are alive, urgent, and waiting for each of us to confront them. As the dust settles over Judah, the people begin to reflect on everything they have witnessed, the warnings, the visions, the moments of fear and hope that Isaiah revealed. The leaders who once turned a blind eye are humbled, realizing that power without wisdom and justice can bring devastation. Families gather, not just in relief, but in a newfound awareness of how fragile life and society can be when morality and faith are ignored. Isaiah's prophecies have not only exposed the consequences of corruption and pride, they have also reminded everyone that redemption is always possible, but only through vigilance, courage, and honest reflection. Even as the immediate danger fades, the lessons of the book of Isaiah linger. The nation has survived, but the story leaves a clear warning. Peace and prosperity are fragile, and they must be nurtured through justice, righteousness, and accountability. The suspense that once gripped Judah may have eased, but the deeper truth remains. Every choice, every action, every moment of neglect or courage shapes the future. Isaiah's visions have shown that fear and hope are two sides of the same coin, and that understanding the balance between them is essential for any society, then and now. The final twist, the reminder that human doubt and failure can repeat across generations, ensures that the story doesn't end as a simple fairy tale. It ends as a mirror, reflecting the struggles we all face. Isaiah's words challenge readers to confront their own lives, their own communities, and the world around them with honesty and courage. The terrifying imagery and the awe-inspiring visions are not meant to frighten us for no reason. They are lessons in vigilance, morality, and the human spirit's capacity for both destruction and renewal. As we close this chapter, the story of Isaiah leaves a lasting impression. The terrifying moments are balanced by hope. Judgment is paired with the possibility of redemption, and the choices of individuals echo far beyond their time. For viewers today, the book of Isaiah serves as both a warning and an inspiration, a reminder that confronting difficult truths, listening to wisdom, and striving for justice can transform fear into understanding and uncertainty into growth. The story ends, but its message stays with us, urging reflection, action, and awareness, long after the last verse is read.